Now the backend is ready. Let's build the frontend. I was looking for some front-end hosting service provided by Firebase, and looks like Firebase has a service called Hosting, deploy web and mobile web apps in seconds using a secure global content delivery network. So it looks like Firebase Hosting has a CDN support. So after you deploy your web app, it will be distributed in different edges. Now it's time to decide what web framework we should use to build the web application. There are three popular web frameworks right now. One is React.js, one is Angular, and one is Vue. I did some research among three of them, and looks like the React.js is more popular and you have more options to choose, not as a whole bundle. So let's start it with the React.js. So we need to create React.js using TypeScript. How to do that? -- TypeScript. Okay. Chain sign app TypeScript. Okay, React.js is installed. To run yarn start, I can start the web application. Start. Okay, now it's up and running. Now let's open it to take a look. Save to reload. So if I change this to exclamation mark, cool, it got changed. The next thing is I need to looking for a UI framework so that I don't need to write too much CSS. Let me take a look at this one. Looks like this is not free. Looks like this is not free. You have to pay. This is also not free. Material UI. I heard about this also. Now looks like I have the very basic React.js setup for TypeScript. This is the default. I added grid and it should be responsive. If I change to different screen size, it should still work. Okay, now let's add the UI component I want to have for the front end. Now we have a way to read a large file and calculate the hash 256. So here's the code. So once I drag and drop a file into the zone, it will trigger this callback. And for each of the file, it will call the read chunked file. And once the data, chunked data read in, it will call this method. And at the end, it will call this method. So here is the code. So basically, it defining some variables and define a chunk reader block and start from 0, and chunk size is 1 megabyte, and pass in the file. And once it read the first slice, it will trigger the read event handler, which is this one. After it finish dealing with the data, it will call this again with the new offset, same chunk size, same file, and repeatedly. So once the offset is bigger than the file size, then the file reading is done. So we can call this final callback, which will finalize the sharp253, get to a string, and output. So a simple task is I drag and drop a MP3 file, and you can see each percentage. It read three chunked blocks, and then done reading, and took this millisecond, and this is the SHA-253. So if I calculate the same file, it gets the same hash code. So given that, so this tool also I can not drag and drop, I can single click and select the file. So I'm not sure if I can select the multiple files. Yes, I can. And I will get a multiple hash code. Okay, so we have the most important function ready, and the next step is to do some cleanup. I will call our backend API to trigger a signing request for this hash code. I want to show the percentage of the file read here somewhere. Alright, let's give it a try. The percentage changes. Yep, looks good, looks awesome. Now let's give it a test. So I drag and drop a file into the drop zone, and you can see the API call succeeded with 200. And here I can see the hash code as the ID of the document. And this is the data. So if I set the status to paid, now it's uploaded to the blockchain. So if I take a look at this transaction ID, and I should be able to see this document hash code is being logged on the EOS blockchain. The next step, I will make the UI looks prettier. When I was testing, I found a bug. Let me show you. So I uploaded the file here, and it created a sign-in request. And after I changed the status to paid, it actually sent to the blockchain. And I can use the transaction ID to find this transaction and to get the memo, which is the ID, which is what I want. But if I test using the same file again, if I do this, you will see that, see? The status changed to initial, which it shouldn't be. So if a user submitted the same file again, and if it was already submitted to the blockchain, it should just return what the transaction ID is, not to override to initial. Okay, let's fix the bug. We're almost there. We have backend ready, frontend ready. The user can just drag and drop a file to verify the existence of your file. We're still missing something. That is, after the signing request has been accepted, the status needs to change from initial to paid. So in the next video, I will start implementing how to integrate with a payment service, such as PayPal. Subscribe if you like it. See you next time. Bye.